Hello everyone, welcome to the tapping creativity section of my blog, Simple Holistic Yoga. And in today's tutorial, we are going to make a project, a pair of earrings, using the technique that we discussed in the first video that I posted on this channel, which was a beginner's level tutorial on how to make basic loops using wire. And I have included a link to that tutorial down below, so feel free to check that out. I kind of gave a few tips on how to make sure that all your loops are round and uniform so that your final piece of jewelry looks nice and graceful. So we talked about how to make the loops on either end of the beads, how to link them together, and then we also attached these toggles at the end and made a bracelet out of it. And that's essentially what we covered in the last tutorial. So today we are going to make a pair of earrings to complement that bracelet, but you can feel free to use whatever kind of beads you want. I'm just using the same beads that I used for the bracelet that we made. So this is what our earring will look like. And for that, we are going to need these supplies. We are going to need our round nose pliers, our chain nose pliers, and a pair of flush cutters. We're also going to need some 20 gauge wire. That is if you are going to make your own head pins. If you don't want to make your own head pins, you have the option, and I am going to show you how to make your own head pins, but if you don't want to, you have the option of buying your head pins from a craft store. Here are a couple different options. This one is a head pin with a flat bottom, and this is a head pin with a round bottom. And really the purpose of this is so that when you string your bead onto it, it doesn't fall off. So you can make your own head pins or you can buy them from the craft store. We need a few jump rings. Then we need ear wires. I'm going to use a dark surface just so you can see the ear wires properly. Here are a couple different options. This is a very common piece of ear wire for your earrings, you know, that you would attach your dangle onto. This is another common piece of ear wire. Here's another option, and this is actually the option that we are going to choose for this project. And the reason I'm choosing this is because one, it has a loop in front, and that's the loop we're going to use to string our dangles onto. And because we are making two dangles right here, the second piece is going to string onto the back where the hook is. So that is the one that we are going to use for this project, and you can find it very easily at any craft store. And the other thing that we are going to need is some chain. Now I have chosen to use a very thin chain which has very small hoops or loops on it because that's just a preference. You know, I kind of want my beads to stand out, and that's why this is what I picked. But here is an example of some other options that you have out there. You have thicker ones, they come in different shapes, different sizes. So it's just a matter of preference, you know, whatever you want for your project. And this is what I've done. I've cut them out. So you're going to use this and you're just going to cut out how much you want. So I've cut two pieces out. One piece is about, one is shorter than the other. One piece is about 18 links, 18 to 20, and the other piece is about 25 links. So the shorter piece is going to go, here we go. The shorter piece is going to go in front, and then the longer piece we're going to attach to the hook and the back. So let's get started. Now I'm just going to move all this stuff out of the way because we don't need that. And so again, we can use the store-bought head pins or you can make your own, and I'm going to show you how to make your own. So I've already cut out a piece of 20 gauge wire and you're going to use your round nose pliers, and you want to use the narrow end of your pliers. So we're going to use the round nose pliers, place it in between your pliers, making sure that you can't feel the top edge of it. And then you're going to start to rotate the pliers away from you. And you're going to do that until you form a nice J. And that J is going to look like this. There we go. And then we're going to come in with our chain nose pliers. And what we want to do is we want to squish this J together. So I'm going to take my pliers, I'm going to just squeeze them tight together. Oops. There we go. And once you've done that, you'll notice that your J is sort of slanting to the side, and that's fine. You're just going to use your pliers and your fingers to sort of straighten that out. And there we go. And so now it's straight, and now we're going to string our bead onto it. And now your bead is secure and it's not going to fall off. So that's our head pin. Very easy, very simple. And now we're going to make a loop on the other end. So once again, I have included the link below so that you can reference how to make loops in case you want to. And for the loop, we're going to cut out the amount of wire that we need to make the loop. I know I'm going to need about that much. Just cutting the wire, coming in with your round nose pliers, and then making a loop the same way that we did in the tutorial in the first video. Coming in with my chain nose pliers, because your loop is going to be on the side and you want to kink it back. And then we're going to open this loop. And we are going to attach the shorter piece of the wire to this loop. And then close the loop. Rocking motion front and back as discussed earlier in the earlier video. And this completes our first dangle. And I need to find here's the ear wire that we decided to use, which comes with a loop. So we're going to open that and we are going to attach this first link to the front. So we're going to open the loop the same way. Attach the other end of the chain to the loop, and then close the loop up carefully, making sure it's nice and secure so that your chain doesn't fall off. And this is the first part of your dangle. Now, you could leave it at this. You actually don't have to make a second piece, but I just thought, you know, we would make something fun. So we're going to make another dangle, which we are now going to attach to the hook in the back. So making a head pin again, using the round nose pliers, using your 20 gauge wire, finding the point, a narrow point on your pliers, rotate away until you form the J. Oops, there we go. That's your J. Coming in with your chain nose pliers, and we are going to squish that J in tightly. Again, you'll see that that is curved to the side, and we want to straighten that. Just going to use my thumb and my pliers to straighten that. And once you've straightened that, make sure it's still tight. And that's it. And then we have our bead that we're going to string onto it. Now we're going to cut the other end of this wire so that we can make a loop here. Oops, I fell off. Making the loop. Coming in with the chain nose pliers to kink and straighten that loop. And now I'm going to open the loop and attach the second chain to it. Close the loop up, rocking motion front and back so that it's nice and tight and the loop is closed. Now this other end is what we are going to attach to the back. So this is the front, and the second chain is gonna go right in here. Let me see if I can, there we go. It's gonna go right in here. That's where your jump ring comes in handy, because if you notice, the chain that I have chosen is very, very thin. So the circles or the loops here are very tiny. So they're not large enough to hook around this. And that's why we're going to use our jump rings, which is right here. We're gonna open the jump ring. To open your jump ring, you're gonna use 2 pliers, your chain nose plier, and then you're going to use your round nose plier. And the same way as we discussed opening loops in the first video, you don't want to crack your loops open. You want to sort of go up or down. So we're gonna go, one goes up and the other goes down. One end of the loop up, the other down. So now we've opened the loop, and that's what we are going to attach the second link to. And one of the hooks. And then you are going to close your loops, or close your jump ring rather, and that's it. And that's our finished piece of jewelry, earring, to complement the bracelet. So you can feel free to make the second piece if you want. I already had one made so that I could show it to you at the beginning, but that's it. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to just comment below and let me know, and I'll see you again with some more tutorials later on. Thank you for watching.